The route was still the same. The bus route changed in October, not officially. The schedule was the same, the stops were the same, but the bus started arriving early. I took the 7:14 every morning to work. It was supposed to reach my stop at 7:32. For 3 weeks straight, it arrived at 7:26. I thought maybe they'd adjusted the timing, but when I checked the app, it still said 7:32. The driver was different too, not the usual guy, someone new. He didn't make eye contact when I got on. In November, they added a scanner at the front of the bus, not for payment, for IDs. A small screen with a camera. You were supposed to scan your transit card, then your driver's license. The driver said it was for security verification. He said it was temporary. The scanner beeped green for most people. Sometimes it beeped red. When it did, the driver would look at his screen and nod. Then the person would sit down like nothing happened. I asked the woman next to me what the red beep meant. She said she didn't know. She said it had happened to her once. She said they didn't explain it. A week later, the bus started skipping stops. Not all of them, just certain ones. My coworker lived 2 stops before mine. She said the bus hadn't stopped there in 4 days. She said it slowed down and kept going. She filed a complaint with transit services. They never called her back. In December, they installed speakers on the bus. Small white boxes above each row of seats. At first, they played the usual announcements. Then, they started playing messages. Reminders about courtesy, about securing belongings, about reporting suspicious behavior. The messages repeated every few minutes. The same voice, the same words. After a while, I stopped hearing them. One morning, I scanned my ID and the screen beeped red. The driver looked at me, then at his screen. He didn't say anything. He waved me through. I sat down. The speakers played a message I hadn't heard before. Passengers are reminded to update their contact information. Failure to maintain accurate records may result in service interruption. I checked my account that night. My information was correct, but there was a new field. Status, under review. I called transit services. The automated system said my call couldn't be completed. I tried again. Same message. The next week, they started checking bags. Not at the station, on the bus. A transit officer would board at random stops and walk down the aisle. He'd point at someone and ask to see inside their bag. He never explained why. Most people complied. One man refused. The officer didn't argue. He wrote something on a tablet and got off at the next stop. The man got off too. I don't know if it was his stop. In January, the bus started taking a different route. It still reached the same destination, but it added stops, streets I didn't recognize. No one got on. No one got off. The bus would stop, doors open, 30 seconds, then continue. I asked the driver why. He said it was part of the updated route. I said it wasn't on the schedule. He said the schedule was being revised. One morning, the bus didn't stop at my work. It slowed down. I stood up and moved toward the door. The driver shook his head. He pointed at his screen. I asked where the next stop was. He didn't answer. We drove 12 more minutes, past my office, into an unfamiliar area. The bus stopped in front of a gray building. No signs, just an address above the door. The driver looked at me in the mirror. He said I needed to get off. I asked why. He said it was required. I got off. The doors closed. The bus pulled away. The building had no windows on the ground floor, just a door, a camera above it. A small placard said, "Check in." I didn't go inside. I walked 16 blocks back to my office. When I arrived late, my boss asked what happened. I told her the bus took me somewhere else. She paused. Then she said, I should find a different route. I tried. Every route led to the same stop, the same building. I stopped taking the bus. I started driving. Last week I got a letter. It said my transit account had been flagged for non-use. It said I needed to confirm my status within 10 days. If I didn't, my account would be locked, and my driver's license suspended. I called transit services. This time, someone answered. She said I needed to come in for an appointment. I asked where. She gave me an address. It was the Gray Building.